Hello, 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 hello. Wow, I didn't. Hold on, let me just fix the chat. Why does it look like that? That is so weird. But hello, good evening, good day, good morning. Oh, there we go, it's fixed. Never mind. Hello and welcome. I know there's been a lot of things going on this week. The VTubing community is truly is in shambles. Hello, yes. I have all the quizzes that I'll be doing today linked in the description box if you guys would also like to try any of them. This is the one I found. I think it's official, but it also says Digimon fan community, so I'm actually not sure now. But it's okay. So this is one of the ones we'll be doing today, but very, very quickly, actually no, I don't think I'm gonna talk about it on stream. Very briefly, one of the VTuber who got me into VTubers. I would not be streaming or VTubing if it was not for him. Ike Evelyn has graduated this week. I won't go too much into it, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot. I got really emotional about it yesterday because, like I said, it was the one. Yeah, I'm okay. I had my moment. I talked about it. Me and my friends were talking about it, and I definitely let myself feel upset. And I think it's very fortunate to have met, or not met directly, but have able to encounter and been a part of his journey. And I wish nothing but peace and happiness for him moving forward, because the main thing for me is Ike was the one who showed me that streams could be cozy, that you could be funny but calm, and he really is one of the people when I thought about what kind of streams I wanted to do. Ike Eveland and Shuyamino were both my, I guess, inspiration, and I was like, oh, so streaming can be like this. And if it was not for their streams, I probably would not have streamed. Just because I hadn't really been interested in streams because it was a lot. It was very overstimulating for me, and it was often a bit too much. So I'm really, really very thankful that I got to watch some of his journey and been a part of that. And this sounds very parasocial, but it kind of is. I've never been very, very parasocial, but he's made an impact on me. And yeah, it was just a lot. I only want to briefly mention about it because I was like sad retweeting. I try not to do too much of it, but I definitely did it, so I just wanted to mention it. Yeah, I wish nothing but the best, and I hope that he's able to. I hope he's truly able to realize himself and prioritize himself and find. I hope he takes care of himself. And I don't mean it in a parasocial way, but because he always said, take care of yourself, I want to return that sentiment to him, whether or not he chooses to return to the online space, as long as he is well. I'm very flattered and appreciate that you say that. I think that if anyone in chat, whether you are chatting, lurking, or watching the VOD, if any of my streams have brought you just a little bit of joy or a smile, then that is even more. That's more than I ever expected, and that is more than enough for me. I think I stream because I enjoy it, but I also hope that it gives you a little piece of joy, a little piece of silliness in return. Yeah. All right, okay, we're gonna stop there. I just felt like I needed to say it because I wanted to acknowledge it, because he was a part of my journey and a huge reason why I started my own journey. So I hope he's able to find his own light within himself. Because I think... Nah, I don't want to. I don't want to. No. Gosh. I'm gonna end it by saying I'm so thankful I have a piece of his merch to always remember him by, and I will always, always cherish all the laughter and comfort that his streams always brought to me. Okay, I was so... I'm way more eloquent than I was yesterday when I was talking to my friends, and I still feel like I was like, damn, I could have... I hope that you guys, if you are also dealing with anyone that is graduating or is going through a tough time, or if you yourself are going through a tough time, remember to take care of yourselves. Remember to be kind to yourselves and know that you are doing your best, and that is enough. You are enough. Okay, sadness over. Sadness over. So today, hello, after this very emotional interlude, today the goal is to discover who I truly am. We are doing a bunch of personality quizzes. I have listed, I think, 8 of them in the description box. I do have more because some of them are very short, but I do not know how long some of these will take. So I just have backups. I'm hoping we'll at least get through all 8, but I do have them in an order where priorities, you know? So first we're gonna start with Digimon partner. This one was very intriguing to me. So let's see. A new challenge. What will you do then? Work with your instincts first. Take your time to prepare. I don't want to be challenged as much as possible. A new challenge. By the way, I think this is a Japanese website. And they do have like an English translation, but it is, as you can see, a little bit awkward. But it is officially translated in English. Who do I think my partner will be? Gatomon, Renamon. Other acceptable answers are Lilymon, Dianamon. I have many mons. I didn't want to list them all in like the description box, but know that there is a list of acceptable partner mons. I don't know who I'll get though. I did see some people post their results and it's such a wide variety, so I have no idea. New challenge, what will you do then? Take my time to prepare. What is my personality? Brotherly and sisterly qualities. Brotherly or sisterly nature. Single child temperament. Now, what is the difference between qualities and nature? Because inherently, if you have a brotherly or sisterly nature, wouldn't that imply that you have brotherly or sisterly qualities? Or is one like nature and nurture, where, for example, nature, because you were born into a position, you just naturally have like these interactions that shape certain things, and then the qualities are things that you yourself develop. For example, some people have like, what is it? Big sister vibes, even though they may be an only child, because they're very responsible and they take charge of other people. Is that what it is? Single child temperament to me is also very interesting. Because for some reason, single children, they're like, wow, it'd be great to have a sibling. And everyone with siblings is like, oh, you think so. But honestly, I don't mind. I think I get along pretty well with my brother. I think I'm pretty glad that he's my brother. But I do think it's funny when people are like, oh yeah, my brother or sister would like take care of me. And I'm like, ha! Depends. Depends. But what is my personality? Brotherly and sisterly qualities, or brotherly or sisterly nature? You don't talk to either of your sisters? Yeah, everyone has a different relationship with their family. For me, I'm fortunate that with my brother, when we were younger, we didn't really communicate well, so there was a lot of miscommunication. But I think now that we're older, we're able to communicate better. But everyone has a different relationship with their family. Totally fine. Single child temperament, brotherly or sisterly. I'm gonna say brotherly or sisterly nature because I don't really know what the answer is. Did not take. I tried. However, we definitely had different definitions of taking care. And of course, it's always like the thing is, I think there were things I could have done better, but I do think I did try to take care of them, you know? So it's just like perception. Not even perception. I could have done better. Speaking of traveling, by car, by boat, or by plane, interesting. Here's the thing with me. I have traveled by car. Not really a fan of it. As someone who gets motion sickness. Not a fan of it unless I get to knock out. By boat, I have actually been on a boat a couple of times, and both times I've really enjoyed it. It's very peaceful. However, there is the concern of I've never been on a cruise. I'm not really interested for, quite a few reasons. The living space is either very expensive or not ideal. No, yeah. And personally, I've traveled the most by plane. I don't really prefer it either. It's a lot of hassle. Personally, my personal choice would probably be by train. I have always wanted to try doing a train trip, have not done it. But I did watch Sophia Nygaard's train video. It did look interesting. I would be interested in a train trip. Yeah. But that's none of these options. So, preferably, probably. I don't know. It depends how far you go. It depends where you go. It depends what your goal is. Like, for example, if I'm going for a 2-day trip, then I wouldn't want to go by car because by the time you get there, you'd have to leave. If you go by boat, what kind of boat? Is it a big boat, a cruise boat, a small boat, a tugboat? Yes, overnight train trip sounds so fun. I think that they can be interesting if you have the right group of people. I also think it's very funny that you have to strap yourself into the bunk, cross the ocean with a rowboat. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't try though. I don't know. Like a lot of people that I know have done river rafting and they're like, wow, it's so fun. And I just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong. I remember traveling by boat and it was so peaceful, so fun, so. It was nice because, like, the group I was with, we were all very chill, if that makes sense. One person had, like, severe seasickness and they conked out, but, the rest of us were very, very chill. Had, like, a very cool, like, creative inspiration moment because a lot of the people I went with were like very creative and we all had like our own inspiration and we all did something artistic after that trip. It was really cool. It was just one of those moments where you'll never be able to repeat it. But I guess, I don't know, I'll pick plane. I don't really have a preference because it depends on where, what, why you start going down a waterfall. That's what I think. Like, whitewater river rafting, imagine that. Imagine the rapids. Scramble crossing is a big deal. What about you? Maybe the true quiz is me figuring out what any of these questions mean. And this is not because I am putting down the translation, but I think it's very obvious that this is machine translated. Scramble crossing is a big deal. What about you? What could scramble crossing mean? What could scramble crossing be? Make noise together. Take a photo. I'm going to stop you. Okay, let's try to work backwards. When I heard scramble crossing, I thought they were going to say crossing the road. Like crossing the sidewalk. And then they said make noise together. Take a photo. I'm going to stop you. So does that mean that someone is jaywalking and what would you do? Would you go with them, take a photo, or stop them? I also think so, but I'm trying to understand scramble. Is it like you're being disruptive? Because it says, I'm going to stop you. Or are they doing something like they shouldn't be doing on the crossing? So I guess in this case, I'm going to stop you. Who is Morphomon? I got a butterfly. He has a heart that enjoys nature, and his ears and hands are made up of butterfly wings. The scales from the wings can be used to heal or numb the body and mind. His special move is intense therapy. Oh, it's actually called Scramble Crossing? Interesting. Thank you for letting me know. You know, chat, I think it was because I had that session at the beginning where I was talking about being sad. So I manifested a partner Digimon that has the special move, Intense Therapy. I really can't even make this up. Well, honestly, I didn't know it was called Scramble Crossing. It does kind of look like that when you're watching the videos of people when they film. We're gonna have to learn more about Morphomon at a later time. Hold on. You probably can't see, but I am just taking a screenshot to commemorate who is officially and from now on will be my partner Digimon. Morpho from Kizuna, by the way. Oh, interesting. It does look like a butterfly mon, and it's it's very cute. I've never seen this before. So this is my partner Digimon. Now, what did we learn about me from this quiz chat? We learned that I apparently need intense therapy. I am not surprised I got a vaccine mon as my partner because, as you may or may not know, I have a bias towards vaccine mons. Should watch Kizuna. I'll definitely add it to the watch along list. I do want to start doing watch alongs again. It's just that there's honestly. I'll just say that I want to start doing watch alongs again. If you guys don't mind me being a PNG, then we can definitely do watch alongs. Alright, now that we figured out my partner Digimon, we are going to do. Da-da-da-da! I do not want that. Okay. We are going to figure out, am I going to be a waterbender? Or a waterbender? Or a waterbender? Now, I want to do a quick poll. What kind of bender do you think I'll be? And there's only one right answer. Water. Fire. Earth. Or air. And I will let you guys complete this poll until I finish the quiz. Alright. Let's start. Who's your favorite avatar? Korra. I'm sorry, I know Aang is peace-loving and young, but I liked how Korra would literally fight people. It's dinner time. Pick your ideal meal. A spicy dish. A vegetarian delight. I only have one choice. Pick an animal to be your companion. Polar bear dog, badger mole, dragon, or flying bison. Alright, now this is... Personally, a polar bear dog sounds the most interesting to me, but a dragon, a dragon sounds so cool. But would the dragon listen to me? Also, where would I keep the dragon and how would I feed it? So many things to consider when you are thinking about your companion. So I think I need to go with polar bear dog. I feel like logistically I'd be able to handle a polar bear dog in comparison to a nope. Alright, at least this one has a back button. To win a fight, what approach do you take? Evade, defend, and neutralize non-violently. Stand your ground, block attacks, and use all your strength. Heavy offense, keep moving and dodge while attacking. Counter and strike instead of initiate, then use their force against them. Counter strike instead of initiate, then use their force against them. Sounds like air. Heavy offense, keep moving and dodge while attacking is definitely fire, which is my style. I'm not gonna lie. I am a attack DPS spammer. Stand your ground, block attacks, and use all your strength is definitely evade, defend, and neutralize non-violent. That doesn't sound fun. I personally want to be a waterbender for the ability to both heal someone and also drop them in the ocean. You know, sweep them away. Maybe, you know, slap them with water a few times. And it's technically not me, but it's their own hand. But you're using the water to make their hand slap themselves, you know? Maybe a little. Maybe you put a bubble around their head and then you're able to, like, neutralize them. I say neutralize, but really you're just trying to find ways, maybe I am neutralized, but non-violently. Kind of like, why are you hitting yourself, you know? You know? To win a fight. Evade, defend. This is not really my style. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably me. How do you process your emotions? Openly and passionately, calmly and introspectively. Oh, I am an introspective person. Well, we'll find out. That was very, very short process. So how do I deal with my emotions? Yes! I knew it! I knew it! I am a waterbender. The poll is over. The quiz has spoken. Also, I wonder what you guys voted. Okay, so also in agreement, water. Very nice. So basically when I process my emotions, how I do go through it is I basically ask myself, I'm like, why do you feel this way? What's going on? What triggered you? And I ask myself questions until I understand what I'm going through. And then I'm like, oh, it's because of this that I feel like this. And this is this reaction I'm having. You know, that's how I tend to process. I essentially question myself. But I think it works because I do let myself feel the emotion, but I also need to understand why I'm feeling that emotion. So I think I'm pretty introspective with it. I had a bad habit when I was younger where I would bottle up my emotions and then it would go pop. And I'd have moments where I'd be like, oh my gosh, why am I acting like this? Why is my emotions blowing up like that? And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So I eventually learned to not only like process it, but I also learned to like check in with myself more often, if that makes sense. I journal, and my journal is a mess. I can't even read it, but it just helps to like write down what I'm feeling when I feel like I have something. And then it allows me to vent and process my emotions in a way that I feel has a lesser impact negatively on the people around me potentially, and myself, because it's not healthy to bottle up. But anyways, I am a waterbender, compassionate and adaptable. You flow like a waterbender, understanding the emotions of those around you. Your intuition guides you, helping navigate complex situations with grace. Embrace your waterbending abilities, fluidity, intuition, and empathy. Yippee! Alright, I have confirmed for sure I am a waterbender. That is all I needed to know. And I didn't even try. I was actually honest. I was honest and said that I was a DPS fighter, and I still got waterbender. Next quiz. This one is, what kind of evolution am I most like? Now, this is from Nintendo, and this is based on the Pokemon Unite game. So which evolution am I? Let's find out. Which topic sounds most interesting? Fairies, nature, the sun, snow, and the moon. The moon. Which hobby seems like the most fun? Snowboarding, sunbathing, stargazing, hiking, dressing up. None of those. None of those sound like that much fun. But if I had to pick one, personally, it'd be stargazing. If you were a Pokemon, which type would you want to be? Psychic, dark, fairy, ice, grass. Oh, I thought this was all the evolutions. This is only like half of them. What type would I want to be? Interesting question. I think being a fairy type would be interesting because you would be able to, put fear in the hearts of dragon types. Also, an ice type would be fun for same reason. Psychic could be fun in that it would probably have the most useful applications for moves. Like, for example, using your psychic powers to help you grab things. You would be like having an extra helper, but then you control the helper of your mind. Being a dark type would be very cool, but honestly, that's about it. And I get the joke that you could also be cool as an ice type, but personally, I think if you were an ice type, you would be able to always have your drinks cool. You would have very practical uses for your ability, although you would have to avoid the sun. I guess not avoid the sun, but you'd have to be conscious of melting. Like Olaf. Although I didn't watch Frozen, so this is just me guessing. Being a normal type also just sounds normal. And I know I didn't bring up a grass type, but personally, just looking at that person hiding in the grass in the picture right there, it looks so itchy. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Fairy, ice, fairy, ice, fairy, ice. I think I'd be an ice type. I'd want to be blue. How would you approach a big challenge? By considering the risk first. Aggressively, but from a safe distance. Okay, how can you be aggressive but from a safe distance? Honestly, yeah. On top of the fact that grass itself is very, very, very itchy. How would you approach a big challenge? I don't know if you'd be aggressive from a safe distance. Are you throwing spears? Is that what aggressive from a safe distance is? With the support of my friends. Oh, very anime protag-like. By thinking carefully first. Very true. As fast as I can. Alright, we're not speedrunners here. I can't decide. Indecisive. Always a possibility. But what would I do? By thinking carefully first or considering the risk first? I would probably think carefully first. Now, the reason I think carefully first and not consider the risk is, let me tell you about a time where my family's car broke down. And then we had to figure out, we had my other family member come to help jumpstart the car. But someone had to go find out how to get one of the cars to move so we could get in the right position to jumpstart the car. And what I decided to do was going into the cafe and ask people, hey, is this your car? Describe the car and ask if they'd be willing to move their car so we could jumpstart our car. Now, later on, I realized that my mom sent my dad to go with me because she realized that if I had just talked to a bunch of strangers and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll walk with you to the car, that could have been not a great situation, to say the least. She had reasons to be concerned because I was just like, sure, I'll go do this. Because number one, I will say, it was a cafe I knew. I went there all the time and it was like, they knew who I was. Number two, I did ask the cafe if I could make an announcement and they were like, hey, we don't have a PA system. So that's why I went to people one by one. Number three, what ended up happening is that the owner asked me what was going on. I explained it. It turned out to be a car of a staff. So I got really lucky. It was safe. But yeah, we resolved it. The staff moved their car. We got the car jump started. But I did think carefully of what to do. I did not consider the risk. So I see why they split it up. I'm just saying it makes sense. Which signature move name is closest to my style? Psychic Solaire, Fairy Frolic, Glacial Stage, Moonlight Prance, and Emerald Two-Step. Now, Psychic Solaire honestly sounds really cool. Fairy Frolic sounds like a dashing move, like you're actually like speed moving. Glacial Stage sounds like me. Let me explain. If I had a signature move, it would indeed be freezing the ground and then having everyone slip because I'm the only one who can walk on the ice. That would definitely be my move because the first thing I thought of is like, when you think of those dungeon stories where hunters have abilities, I'm like, I would want the ice ability because I would just freeze everyone's legs to the ground and then potentially, freeze their hands to their weapons. I don't know, encase their weapons in ice. I thought of these things. So I feel like Glacial Stage was made for me. By the way, if anyone is curious and you're just coming in, this is Pokemon Unite quiz. That means that this is basically, what is it? Pokemon League, isn't it? I've never played it in my life. I do know of the game, but I've never played it. And apparently these are moves in the game. For sure be new moves added in Z8. You're right. I honestly think they should be. Now, what kind of image am I going for? Charming, mysterious, cool, clever, down to earth, and easygoing. I don't know. I'm not really going for an image. I'm genuinely just like being a filtered version of myself. And by filtered, I mean like because I'm on the internet. I have to be conscious. Clever, I guess. Maybe charming. I don't know. Charming, clever. I'd rather be clever. What's your favorite type of berry? Payapa berry, yache berry, pecha berry, citrus berry, hondu berry. I have no idea what any of these berries are. I think this one is the only one I know because I think it cures poison. But I very, very rarely use berries in any of my Pokemon gameplay. None of these are familiar to me except Pecha. Oh, there's this one. I know this one. I don't remember what it does. Sure, Pecha. I think Pecha is also sweet, by the way. I do remember that. When you made, like, Pokepuffs, I think the Pecha berry is sweet. Look at the cute outfits for the evolutions. What color would you wear every day if you could? Aha, blue. Whoa! I did get Glaceon. Glaceon is ready to dance and prance with ice crystals in the Pokemon Unite game and available now for the Nintendo Switch. You can steal the spotlight with Glaceon's Unite move, Glacial Stage. This ice cold attack creates a diamond-shaped zone that damages and decreases the movement speed of all opponents while increasing. I'm reading a move description, excuse me, I am Glaceon though. Alright, the important thing is that I am Glaceon. So far, we are batting pretty well. I think I did put Vaporeon, but I didn't know that Vaporeon wasn't an option. By the way, if anyone is also curious, all the quizzes I'm taking are linked in the description below if you would also like to take the quiz and see who you end up being. I agree. The first thing and the last thing is just an ad for their game. But I'm Glaceon. I love the image. And maybe I'll try Unite. I don't know. Alright, the next one is, what's your Pokemon type? It literally just says, you just wake up to discover you've been turned into a Pokemon in a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX game for the Nintendo Switch system. You can take this quiz to find out which Pokemon type from the game matches your answers. No, I refuse. Hold on, I'm trying to get it to be more visible on screen. Piece by piece. Alright, okay, a little bit down. Alright, you send a postcard to your friend. What exciting news do you have to share? I won a contest. I visited a neat museum. I explored a new trail. I made a new friend. I took a spa day. A postcard. A postcard implies that there is something more than just a message to your friend. So for example, I took a spa day would be like a text message kind of message. I made a new friend. Potentially could be a postcard worthy, you know. I explored a new trail. My friend would probably call 911 because they'd be like, she doesn't hike. This is an imposter or a hacker. I don't know. No, wait, she wouldn't call 911. She'd probably call me directly and be like, hey, I think someone hacked your account. Probably. I visited a neat museum. That's more like Instagram story, you know, where you like post it along with the cool things you saw in the museum. I won a contest. I don't really know how I feel about this. Let me explain. If you send a postcard to your friend being like, I won a contest, and it kind of sounds like the beginning of one of those scam messages where it's like, I want to share the reward with you. However, I need you to give me your bank information. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about this. I'm thinking too deeply. What would I tell my friend? I made a new friend. What do you value the most? Adventure, relaxation, knowledge, friends and family, competition. Shoot. Friends and family or knowledge. Both of these are really important to me, but probably friends and family. Where would you go for your dream vacation? Historical site? Hot springs? Theme park? Oceanside? Oceanside, I don't even need to look at Botanical Garden. How would your friends describe you? Friendly, passionate, resourceful, adventurous, cool. Probably. Here's the. I don't know. They probably would say friendly. But the thing is, like, I'm also reserved. But they probably would say friendly. It could be passionate, but I think more likely friendly. We'll say friendly. What's your favorite snack? Sour gummies? Yum. No. I don't like sour gummies. I don't like sour candies. I don't really like many candies, but I especially don't like sour candies. Chips and salsa, I like it spicy. Nope. I do like taco salad, but like the taco salad where you take all the things you would put in a crunchy shell taco and then have the crunchy taco shell be broken up into like little bite-sized crispy bits. So good. Blueberries. Oh, already got that. Smoothies and chocolate chip cookies. These are tempting, but blueberries. It must have a crunch to it. Just get chips? No, they don't taste the same. The corn, okay, I've tried corn chips. You know what I do think is pretty good is, what is it called? There is a specific brand of, Fritos. Fritos are great in taco salad. Also great if you don't want the crunchy taco shells. Fritos, 10 out of 10. What's one thing you can't leave the house without? My glasses, my smile, my backpack, my headphones, and my sneakers. This is an interesting question. I don't really bring headphones out. I used to be like a headphone music listening person, but then I kind of grew out of that. And by grew out of that, I mean nowadays I don't like to wear headphones. They hurt. I can't find good headphones that fit my ears. The ones I used to have literally don't work anymore, and it's unfortunate because they were one of the few headphones that fit my ears. It's alright. You can enjoy your soft shell tacos. I will enjoy my crunchy tacos. Headphones or earbuds? So, I've tried both. I've tried headphones and earbuds. I don't like either. Headphones just tend to make my ears hurt after a while, and earbuds just tend not to fit. I do have like these in-ears I use when I do need to use headphones, and they tend to work a bit better. But yeah, my backpack True. Probably my backpack. Because technically for me, like, I wouldn't leave the house without sneakers, but it's not like I must have. I literally can't leave my house without my smile. Cheese. But my backpack, I tend to have a bag where I have like very specific things in it and I must bring it with me, including bandages, slightly emergency things, not like major emergency, but like I do keep certain supplies of me at all times. No, I'm a normal type. Not a purse kind of gal. I used to be, but it has to be a nice purse, and I like crossbodies. It needs to be something that I can like not constantly have to have on my arm, if that makes sense. I like crossbodies. Friendly, skillful, and well-rounded. There's a chance you might wake up as a normal type like Meowth, Eevee, or Skitty. You know what? I reluctantly accept this. Acknowledge that this is my result. It's really funny because when I was younger, I did want to be Eevee or Skitty, but I could never get the right I could never get them on the quiz. But I guess I'm a normal type. Sigh. But anyways, let's find out which one is most like you. I'm gonna find out what Pokemon type I am. Now, this one is kind of repetitive, but it's different than the previous one, apparently. So let's find out how it's different. Alright. You want to pass a note to your BFF. What's on your mind? You gush over a new hobby you absolutely love. You write about a new scientific discovery you found in your backyard. You share your greatest achievement from over the weekend. You write about a dream you had where you climbed a mountain. You tell an amazing story with a twist ending. Probably gush over a hobby. Your parents ask where you want to go on vacation. You choose a sunny vacation on the beach. There's nothing like sand between your toes. A safari where you can see cool wildlife. I've got to see how fast a cheetah can run. Nope, no thanks. Not about writing a story. No, with my friends I tend to we talk about our hobbies more. Camping in the remote wilderness. How else do you enjoy s'mores? And no, an exciting whitewater raft. We talked about whitewater rafting. I can't believe it actually came up. This is a very strange manifestation. Bring on the water. No, I do love water, don't get me wrong, but we just said whitewater rafting is not that exciting. An amusement park with the biggest, fastest roller coaster. Thrill me. No, I'd like to go to the beach. Congrats. Congrats. I was trying to be exaggerated and sound upset, but congrats. I'm glad for you. Happy for you. A sunny beach. Your friend is having a birthday party. This is an interesting image that literally has nothing. Oh wait, does it? Does it have anything to do with the question? Your friend is having a birthday party. What kind of gift do you give? A bubble blower. The latest must-read book. A new hoodie. The funniest gag gift. A poster of their favorite band. Probably a book. Because I think when it comes to fashion's pretty subjective. It's a bit difficult unless you really know what they got. I don't really do gag gifts. A poster of their favorite band. I don't know, probably a book. Probably a book. I have more confidence in recommending a book than I do of getting them their favorite movie poster. A poster. Not favorite movie poster, but a poster of their favorite band. You found hidden treasure. What do you do with it? You throw an epic party for your friends, okay? You have a treehouse built, so you have a quiet place to hang out. Still nice. Plan a trip to the world championship of your favorite sport. That's valid. Save it. I may need it some other day. You make the world's largest sundae. Now, I am, this is me. Why are these all Yoshi pictures? Is this not a Pokemon quiz? Interesting that all the images they're using are of Yoshi. Is this subliminal messaging? Is Yoshi gonna appear in the next mystery dungeon? What is one thing you always keep locked up? My room is my personal space. My diary, my thoughts of my own. Cookies, I'm only sharing if I really have to. No, I think if you find good cookies, you should share them. I recently found this cookie I really really like. It is called Cookie Bark. It is from a specific brand, and I really like their cookies because they're crispy. Oh, as someone who's reserved, I understand the sentiment. But yeah, Cookie Bark. It's really good. Chocolate chip cookies with dark chocolate and sea salt. So good. Oh my gosh. Actually, saying that made me want to have some, but I already. No, 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 no. No late night snacks. My bike is my favorite way to exercise, and my locker. I don't want anyone taking my books. I'm the type to, if my friend wants to borrow a book and I trust them, I will lend them my books. But what I keep always locked up is probably my diary. You're super excited to see a new movie this weekend. What kind is it? Late night cookie cravings, definitely. It's just. Cannot. Must not. Also, I was going to show you guys some videos of me doing polls for the new Pocket TCG. So if we have time at the end, I'll also do that. But I do have enough quizzes, I think, where maybe we'll have a bit of time at the end. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, you're super excited to see a new movie this weekend. What kind is it? This made me, for some reason, Meowth made me think of Pocket TCG. You're super excited to see a new movie this weekend. What kind is it? Horror? To each their own. I'm not really a horror person, but I do know quite a few people who love horror. And kudos to you guys. You're super excited. I keep reading this question because I keep forgetting what it's asking. It's full of monsters, count me in, anything that's based on a true story, something of a pirate who braves the sea, anything of an animal as the main character, or all about the new superhero movie. Personally, for me, for some reason, thinking about anything of an animal as the main character made me think of musicals and also made me think of animated shows. So that's what I'm gonna go with. If you could only choose one fruit, what would it be? Bananas, fruit snacks, watermelon, apple, or grapes? Watermelon. Definitely watermelon. I like that it can do a lot of things. For example, you can freeze watermelon, turn it to watermelon jelly. You can make watermelon slush. No, I did not watch Cats the Musical. That is the one musical I would not watch. Last question. You become a Pokemon and are ready to bust a move. Which one do you choose first? Focus Blast, because when I focus on something, nothing can beat me. Fire Blast, because nothing causes more of a blast than fire. Hydro Pump, because the best way to wash away the enemy is with water. I agree. Thunder, because nothing is scarier than thunder. No. Solar Beam, because you can beat the sun. Can you beat the sun? It's really hot. Nothing beats the sun. Hydro Pump. The irony. The absolute irony of me picking Hydro Pump as my last answer and somehow ending up being a fire type. I somehow apparently have the passion to be the very best. A fire type Pokemon is what you should become. You know what? As someone who, I told you, has constantly gotten Cyndaquil as my starter whenever I play Mystery Dungeon, this is valid. This is so valid. Hello, welcome, Rico. I'm doing a bunch of tests, and even the game acknowledges that I am Cyndaquil. We're gonna ignore the possibility of other mons. So far, I've discovered I have only gotten 2 out of the 4 quizzes I've done that I have anticipated. It's alright, you survive. Now, we're doing the next one. I would like to give a bit of, how do I say this? A disclaimer. I have never read Harry Potter. I'm aware of the story based on its popularity, and I'm aware of the different houses. However, I do not have any other knowledge of Harry Potter aside from the very mainstream basics, and I've never watched any of the movies either. So this should be interesting. We're gonna make another poll. Which house do you think I will be sorted to? We got Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, I think I'm spelling them right. Never. I don't have that much of an interest in them. Slytherin. If I spell anything wrong, it's because I don't know how. Hufflepuff. Alright. Go on and vote for who you think. Which house do you think I will end up in? And let's find out for reals. Ah, shoot. Hold ons. Hold ons. Where is it? Alright, I'm gonna fill this out really quickly. Man, everything needs an account to, like, get stuff. I didn't know this one also needed an account. I did sign up for Digimon. No. Okay. Now, here we go. We are back. Dawn or dusk? Probably dawn for me. Which of the following would you most hate people to call you? Ignorant, selfish, ordinary, or cowardly? Probably selfish. 4 goblets are placed before you. Which would you choose to drink? The smooth, thick, richly purple drink that gives off a delicious smell of chocolate and plums. The mysterious black liquid that gleams like ink and gives off fumes that make you see strange visions. If it is already causing you to see strange visions before you have consumed it, I'm not quite so sure what will happen once you actually drink it. The foaming, frothing, silvery liquid that sparkles as though containing ground diamonds, again, does not sound that appealing. Also, I'm kind of concerned for your, like, what will happen as you consume it and whether those diamonds will scratch up your mouth. Also, probably ruin your trachea. The golden liquid so bright that it hurts the eyes and which makes sunspots dance all around the room. Yeah, I don't really feel like drinking the sun. I think chocolate and plums, you know? Maybe this is a trick. Maybe it's just, you know, making you bring down your guard. Which road tempts you the most? The twisting leaf-strewn path through the woods? Oh, fun fact, that used to be my favorite drink. I used to bring it to school every single day. Still, I want to drink it again. I want to try it again. It's been like, I don't know, 10 years since I last had one, but it used to be my go-to drink. The wide, sunny, grassy lane. Okay, but then, like, I wouldn't now. The narrow, dark, lantern-lit alley. Okay, not the best idea. The cobble street lined of ancient buildings. Cobble streets are no good. Wide, sunny, grassy lane. Twisting. This also feels like a trap, but you know. I feel like this is better. This one also tempts me but I feel like with ancient buildings, you are at more of a risk of being attacked. So probably the wide, sunny, grassy lane where you could run. If you could have any power, what would you choose? The power to read minds. Oh, nope, I feel like that would drive you crazy. The power to change the past. That feels like a butterfly. Fix one thing, cause 10 more problems. The power of invisibility. Feel like it could get you in some tricky situations. Grassy places nowhere to hide, but you could run. Also, you have magic. You could literally blast people away. And then you wouldn't have to worry about structural property damage or paying fines. The power to speak to animals. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, there's more options? The power of superhuman strength? There was a joke there. I don't even know which one it is. The power to change your appearance at will. Oh, this one is interesting. Being able to change your appearance at will. What kind of changes would you make? How long would it last? What would be the extent of your powers? I feel like the power to speak to animals is innocuous enough that you could do a lot with it. You could gather information. You could learn a lot from these animals. You could possibly protect yourself by speaking to animals. If you were attending Hogwarts, which pet would you choose to take with you? Cats, toads, or owls? I think a cat. I don't like birds. If you're attending, what kind of cat would you get? Ginger cat? White cat? Siamese? Siamese are very smart. Tabby cat, adorable. Black cat, also adorable. No, they are like very sharp. People force them to be awake during the day and then they cannot show their full potential. Getting a pet would... It was a valiant attempt, but I did pick cat. I'm torn. Do I want a black cat or a white cat? Black cat or a white cat? Here's the thing. I don't have a great affinity with white cats. I've seen a lot of them and they tend to ignore me. On the other hand, black cats, they do try to enter my house quite often. They are so cute. I adore them. I think I'm a black cat person. A troll has gone berserk in the headmaster's study at Hogwarts. It is about to smash, crush, and tear several irreplaceable items and treasures. Oh, as long as they're not books. In which order would you rescue these objects from the Trolls Club if you could? A nearly perfected cure for dragonpox, so this is for dragons. Don't I get to know all the options first? 2. A student records going back 100 years, thousands of years. A mysterious handwritten book full of strange ruins. Reorder. I feel like getting on the good side of dragons on top of my ability to speak to them would be very beneficial. But the reason I would put student records going back 1,000 years first is because if I learned anything is that anyone who's trying to get rid of records is because they have information they are trying to hide, and that means that information is very important. Now, the mysterious handwritten book full of strange ruins, I don't like to mess with those. Do I like knowledge? Yes. But when you encounter strange things that you potentially cannot understand, you are only inviting problems to yourself. And because I choose not to be the main protagonist, it's not gonna be my concern. That can be someone else's problem. Heads or tails? Tails. I like the dragon tail. Also, this side is blue. The sorting hat is ready to make its decision. The dragon pox would be like chicken pox? Oh. Well, you know, it also doesn't hurt to find a cure for an ailment and to get a lot of wizards on your side. Especially, you know, wizards. Who am I? Why do you guys think Hufflepuff? What? What do you mean, Hufflepuff? Welcome to Hufflepuff. You probably know that some of Hufflepuff's most renowned members include... No, I don't know them. But did you know that Hufflepuff's house ghost, the Fat Friar, still resents the fact he was never... The fact that you all voted on Hufflepuff, I have always fully identified myself as a Ravenclaw. Fully identified myself as a Ravenclaw. This is blasphemy. Hold on, I'm trying to... There it is. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Alright. Oh, it's you! You're Cedric Diggory. Fun fact, did you know Stephanie Myers apparently wrote Twilight because she was so sad that Cedric's character died in Harry Potter that she wrote fanfic to cope with the loss? That later on became Twilight. Anyways, where they are just and loyal, those patient Hufflepuffs are true and unafraid of toil. Alright, it's there. Yeah, that is Robert Patterson. And that's why she had Robert Patterson cast in Twilight, because it was for him. Alright, well, interesting. I don't know, this didn't tell me anything. It just says you're Hufflepuff. It tells me nothing about what is Hufflepuffs. But apparently that's how it goes. Oh, he did. But you know, it paid his bills. So now we shall find out which member of the Elite Four am I most like. I don't know what the options are. I'm thinking it's the ones shown here, but based on the previous, I should say, image to quiz relation, it's not always the case. So let's find out. Which Pokemon would I choose? Dragonite, Gengar, Machamp, or Lapras? Hold on. Lapras. Which move would I choose? Why is Slowbro? Wait, no. Slowpoke? Yeah, it's Slowbro. Why is Slowbro trying to take over the Earth? Oh my god. Which move would I choose? Dragon Rage, Shadow Ball, Seismic Talk, Ice Beam. We've established this. I would freeze people. He's doing a Seismic Toss of the Earth? I knew it. Which Pokemon type would be the most challenging to go up against? Dragon, Ghost, Flying, or Fire? If you say Fire, you're lying. No, I'm kidding. Unknowing would probably be Dragon. Just because unless you have like their weakness, it's just tanky. What would you say is my best quality? Leadership, wisdom, strength, or coolness? I don't know. Physical attacks aren't working. We have to find another. It's like that meme where it's like, I think we gotta take him down. And then Masaru, you talk to Masaru from Digimon Saviors, and you're like, or Digimon Heroes, and you're like, I don't think your fist will work in this situation, Masaru. And he's like, dang. I can imagine that. My best quality. I don't know. Coolness is not something I typically associate with. And by that, I mean, like, some people are cool. I'm not that cool. Strength, that would be nice. But that's not really what I associate myself. I would say being clever or knowledgeable, because I do try to read and learn a lot. But I don't consider myself wise, you know? Because I think wisdom and being knowledgeable is very different. Wisdom comes from experience. I guess leadership in this case. I mean, I guess I'll take charge if you need me to. Which item would be the finishing touch on your intimidating look? A cape. No capes! No capes. Glasses, black belt, or a cane? I would like a cane, just to, you know, smack someone from a distance. Excuse me? What do you mean? I like how it's just process of elimination. You're like, yeah, I guess that we would associate you with wisdom. But I already made my choice and I cannot go back. I literally cannot go back. And glasses, I guess. Cane would be like too old. Although I would like the ability to like smack people with it. I got Lorelei. No one can best me when it comes to icy Pokemon. I agree, I would also be an Ice Elite Four. Oh, is this for Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu? I see. Alright, well apparently I'm Lorelei, the Ice Elite Four member. Honestly, I was like trying to understand what this quiz was for, and now that it's for Let's Go, it kind of makes sense. Alright, next quiz. 3, 6. We're on quiz number 8. What makes you think it was for Let's Go? It literally says Pokemon Let's Go and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee down here. And it also says right up here, I didn't read this. I just saw which member of the Elite Four you most like. I only briefly glanced through these. So let's do Miitopia. So this is for the Miitopia game where you can, it's like an RPG where you can take on different class and it'll tell you which class they are gonna sort you into. Hello, welcome. I'm doing my 8th quiz so far. We're learning a lot about me. So prepare for battle. First, choose your weapon. Squire Sword, Apprentice Wand, Kitten Claws, or Debut Mic. Apprentice Wand. Miitopia is very fun and very silly, by the way. Time to suit up. Choose something to wear. Floppy hat, mittens and a nail file, flashy hair bow, or a suit full of armor. Probably a flashy hair bow for me. I do like a good hair bow. Let's find your strengths. What are you good at? Singing, sleeping, fighting, or doing magic tricks? Alright. I gotta think about this. Sleeping. I'm not great at sleeping. I would like to get better at sleeping. Fighting. Now, I have not gotten into any actual fights. Doing magic tricks. I've never done that. That was more of Arianiki. He did learn how to do basic magic tricks. I guess sleeping. You need a special skill. Which one sounds good? Double Scratch, Mega Lightning, Cheer On, and Spin Slash. Honestly, I should have done that then. I'll now make the enemies disappear. Gosh, what a great line. What a great a character line for when you're about to do a move. Because in Miitopia, you can actually set a catchphrase that you will say before you do the move. Miitopia is still one of my favorite games. I'd love to play it again someday. Spin Slash. I want to do Mega Lightning. Look at that. Oh, I remember. Which tasty treat would really fuel you up for battle? Goblin ham, cotton candy, roast laser tail, or penguin treat? I know what these are. I think penguin treat's pretty good. I think that's an shaved ice thing. A shaved ice snack. It's time for battle. What's your mood like? Energetic, stubborn, cool, or laid back? Probably laid back. I feel like being laid back during battle is pretty important. Is it ham made by goblins or made of goblins? That is debatable because in Miitopia, you get food as drops. Now, is it implied to be... Is like the food related to the monster you defeat? Yes. But could it just be that it is a specialty made by that particular monster? Yes. Because there are some very interesting food choices. Very interesting food choices in Miitopia. But by the way, when you have like a characteristic in Miitopia, it affects how you battle. Personally, I like cool. Because when you're laid back, sometimes you're a little too laid back and you cannot dodge. When you're stubborn, you will attack even when you're not supposed to. When you're energetic, you sometimes be so energetic you will get yourself hurt. But when you're cool, what you can do is you can dodge in cool moments. You'd make a great cat, excuse me. Meowch. Cat has dainty paws, cute little whiskers, and vicious shredding claws. Special skills. It's true. Oh my gosh, okay, I cannot explain, but my laughter is because the cat is truly one of the strongest DPSs you can get in Miitopia. It does do devastating damage, And they do have the ability to do double, because they can, sometimes they'll like double attack. I mean, it's not wrong. I guess I'm a DPS. Gonna have to rename the channel now. Alright. Now, here's the thing. A lot of these quizzes I'm doing are short, but they are official quizzes. And the reason I started with these is because I was like, wow, I didn't know they had these quizzes. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to do, because I play a lot of Nintendo games. But in the future, I would be open to the idea of, like, doing BuzzFeed quizzes and you guys sending me BuzzFeed quizzes to do. I'd be open to that. Also, I did find a 16 personality test quiz, so that could also be a future stream. I don't know how long that test is, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty long. Now, we do have a couple more. Whoops, I didn't open this one early, but Team Pikachu or Team Eevee? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I just got to make sure I've opened the rest of them, let them load. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna do Team Pikachu and Team Eevee first. Da-da-da-dum. Look at Eevee and Pikachu with their bowl cuts, very cute. Which skill or move would you want your partner Pokemon to learn? Pika Pa-Pow. Sea Skim, look at us shredding the waves. VV Volley, are you literally throwing Eevee like a volleyball? And Sky Dash. Oh my gosh, I think Sky Dash would be a lot of fun. Can you imagine? Like, this is the kind of travel I want to do. I want to travel by air. But look at that, we're very comfy. Eevee is, oh my god, is Eevee driving? Chat, would you or would you not trust your Eevee? Hold on. Would you trust your Eevee? Hold on, I'm not making a poll. I am trying to make a poll, but I was just typing. Would you trust your Eevee to fly the plane? Yes. No. Depends what level they are. Okay. We're gonna start the poll. I want Sky Dash. Moderately concerned though. Which look would you choose for your partner Pokemon? Now here, I'm gonna bring it up a bit. We got a cute bow tie. We got a camouflage. Cute flowers, and I think a hat and a jacket. Now, personally, as someone who is a big fan of bows, I like the bow. I like the idea of matching bows. Wouldn't get into regardless of who was driving. What about yourself? What if you were flying? Trust anything with no opposable thumbs? But here's the thing, it's their move, right? They are using Sky Dash, so technically, that's just kind of how it has to be. Still wouldn't get in. Flowers are so cute, but I'm kind of biased because I think, like, as someone who always gets their horse in Stardew the matching bow, I feel like I'm obligated to get a bow. We could just put it in, like, we could do it in a different way. It could be cuter than just a bow tie. Which Pokemon would be tough competition? Starmie, Charmeleon, Onix, or Seaking? I like how for once the picture of Pierre matches the options. You would trust Sylveon? Technically they would have 4, right? Yeah. That's true. Then would you trust a Machamp because he does have opposable thumbs? So which would be tough competition? None of them, because you know that if you had an Onix battle, all you'd have to do is find a place with sprinkler system and then you too could defeat Onix. So probably Charmeleon. What's the cutest thing your partner Pokemon could do? Play dress up? Ah! Find a gift for you? My heart. High 5? Oh my gosh. All of the above. Why can I not pick all of the above? What do you mean? Let you feed it treats. This is such like a pet owner thing. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna let you give me these treats that I love. Starmie's the most optimal competitive choice, but if you have a Pikachu, Starmie's not that concerning. I'd say play dress up. I think find a gift. No, give you a high five. I think give me a high five would literally like melt my heart. Oh my gosh, when those animals go like high five. Ah! Choose a color. Red, yellow, purple, or cream. Trick question. None of the above. Where is there no blue? I guess purple. Purple's the closest to blue. I'm Team Eevee! And now, fun fact, I did get Let's Go Pikachu. I do have Let's Go Pikachu. I did want Let's Go Eevee, but I did like the wild Pokemon options in Let's Go Pikachu more. So cute. Okay, but if Starmie can use Hydro Pump at the second gym, that is a little too competitive of Misty, because as the second gym leader, she should be fostering the next generation. If I ever could get emotes, I would definitely want to actually emote, because I feel like you guys would use it a lot. But fun fact, I don't have memberships open even though I am technically monetized, is because I have a music copyright. Not like copyright strike on my channel, it's just like, oh, I played Ultimate games and the soundtrack got copyright. Only the strong survive. The strong is Eevee. Eevee is the strong. Alright. This one is silly. It's like leader of the pack. It's finding out which of Mario's friends might best match your own leadership style. So the options are Princess Peach, Rosalina, Pauline, and Bowser. It does. Alright, we're gonna end the poll. Would you guys trust Waluigi? Let's see what the result of the poll was so I can give you another one. Would you trust Eevee to fly this plane? Oh, 50-50, alright. This quiz is a scam. No, it's not. Which leadership style do I have? I don't know what the leadership styles are. We have Princess Peach. We have Pauline. Mario's not a leader, he's just a plumber. Rosalina and Bowser. Alright, let you guys vote who you think my leadership style is. Where would you prefer to live? In a dark, scary castle? Among the stars? In a beautiful sunlit castle? In a high-rise apartment? Personally, I would like to live among the stars because castles are a lot of maintenance. The castles do not necessarily come with the people who will help maintain the castle. And a high-rise apartment sounds nice, but it sounds expensive. I don't remember who Pauline is either. Small, comfy, all the things you need. You know, fair. From Odyssey? Huh. I'm not familiar with a lot of Mario games besides, you know, Mario and Luigi Superstar Brothers. Also, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Who would you want to be in charge of? Citizens of New Donk City. Toads. Koopa Troopas. Lumas. Toads are nice, but they're not very helpful. They never really can do anything when Princess Peach is always kidnapped. I feel like literal stars. Oh, Odyssey. I know this is Rosalina. What would you want to be your special talent? Keeping the peace. Singing. Levitating. Breathing fire. Here's the thing. Keeping the peace sounds like a nice ability, but then you're constantly having to go keep the peace. Singing While nice, I'm not really sure what that's gonna do besides, potentially having you do a lot of work. Levitating is actually my favorite because it's very useful and you could potentially use it on other things. Breathing fire, as fun as that sounds, how does it work? Like, is it every time you open your mouth? Do you trigger it? What happens when you get excited while you're eating and then all of a sudden you breathe fire and then what you were tasty thing you were eating turns into ash and it's no longer tasty? Like, I feel like there has to be more description for this, but personally, I pick levitating. What would you want to be when you grow up? Astronaut, politician, the big boss, or an ambassador? How about none of the above? Literally none of the above. Being a big boss is only nice until you find out you actually have to be responsible for the people under you, and sometimes you have to answer to people above you, and then that makes your job not fun. An ambassador also only sounds interesting. However, if you actually have to represent something or a brand and then your move is scrutinized and you're forced to attend events you don't want to go to, I just wouldn't want to be a politician. Astronaut, I guess. That doesn't sound fun either. All the training you have to do, going to space, potentially coming back. I don't know. How would you describe your leadership style? I must keep my kingdom safe and happy. I like to keep things moving. My way or the highway. It's my duty to protect those in my charge. My way or the highway honestly sounds most like me. But not in a bad way. It'd be like my way or the highway that we will discuss. I must keep my kingdom safe and happy. Sounds like a lot of responsibility. I like to keep things moving. In what direction? It's my duty to protect those in charge. Depends. Are they also doing their part? Are they also trying to stay out of trouble? I guess I must keep my kingdom safe and happy. I did get Rosalina! I rule over the cosmos, which is a pretty big place. Her leadership style is protective and caring, and she watches carefully over the Lumas, her bright little star-shaped creatures who are in her charge. That is very, very cute. Honestly, I do love Rosalina, not only because she is blue, but I do like her outfits when she's in the game. Never played one of her games though. Would like to try someday. Okay. The last official quiz. It's what might your Pokemon trainer focus be? Now, something we've always talked about as Pokemon fans is it'd be fun if Pokemon gave you the option to battle, become competitive contest, or just be a casual breeder. Wait, a breeder or a casual citizen of the Pokemon world. So this one is kind of which area would I go towards? I don't have these linked. I will link them after if anyone's interested in trying them, but they are from the Nintendo website. So what would you like to do is surf fetch? Catch it, battle it, or play with it? I guess catch it. Who is gonna want to fight a Farfetch with a sword and a shield? What would you do with Galarian Ponyta? Is this the questions? They're just gonna show me different mons and they're gonna say catch it, battle it, or play with it? Ew, is it edible? Okay, maybe you could be a chef. I forgot to let me check the answers. What leadership style do I have? Everyone said Pauline. Or not everyone. We got votes for Pauline. Interesting. Play no doubt, though you be careful to not get killed. If this is the answer, it's gonna be a very short quiz, let me just say. Catch it. What would you do with Glossifer? Catch it. What would you do with Yamper? Play with it. What would you do with Wooloo? Catch it, because I've seen a Wooloo break through a fence. I'm not gonna play with it. What would you do with Dreadnought? Catch it. What would you do with Morpeko? I have made Morpeko angry. We'd catch it. My Pokemon trainer focus is catch. What am I? I was gonna make it. I didn't want to continue. Alright, well, that's no fun. Okay, so this is not an official quiz. This is actually from a quiz called The World of Pokemon, a website called The World of Pokemon. You can't really see it, I'll link it later. But it's basically a fan made website, and this is a starter quiz. I have never played this, but it is going to select an ideal starter Pokemon in 5 or fewer questions. So this is going to be super interesting. They do explain how this works, so you might want. So, for example, the first question is which of the following best describes the habitat you live in or plan to explore? They say here select the habitat you currently live in or the habitat you believe you will spend a lot of time exploring. Personally, I would probably do beach or ocean. Polar sea sounds fun until you realize it's cold. Same with glacial. Tundra as well. Beach or ocean? Beach or ocean? I'm gonna say beach. It kind of gives you the option to be on land, but you also get the water. Would you prefer to raise a low maintenance, easygoing Pokemon or a challenging but rewarding Pokemon? How much effort I am willing to put towards training my starter? Low maintenance Pokemon are ideal for beginning trainers, while high maintenance Pokemon might be more suitable for veterans. Moderate Pokemon are a good choice for a wide variety. Probably moderate maintenance. Only because I feel like it would depend on what they mean by maintenance. If it's like low level is like James, where you're friends with the Pokemon, and then high maintenance is like that one trainer in that had the Sandshrew and he had to set up a whole place, plan out all their food, make specific training gear, and be kind of go all in with the training. That's a little high maintenance. I feel like I'd be somewhere in the middle. Introverted or extroverted? Would you prefer a reserved introverted Pokemon or an outgoing extroverted one? Probably introverted. I prefer a Pokemon that's pretty chill because I feel like I'm pretty chill, and if the Pokemon's too extroverted, it would be a lot for me to have to make sure it got the appropriate stimulation, the friendship, the engagement, the socialization it needed. So, probably introverted. Which of the following personalities do you get along with best? Reserved or hardworking? The fifth question is a defining characteristic you consider most important in a partner. It's usually an ideal or a trait you would want your starter to embody. Probably hardworking. I am reserved, but hardworking would be. Oh, I got Oshawott! I forgot to ask you guys what type you thought I would get. Gosh, what a wasted opportunity. I've never done this quiz before, so I didn't know what the options would be. Okay, it didn't have more of a more about Oshawott, but I did get Oshawott. That's cute. This one's also interesting. There's quite a few things on this website, but it was like it popped up when I was looking for official Pokemon quiz. So I thought it'd be kind of fun. I didn't know her water type though. I finally got my water type. And I think that's pretty accurate because I did work really hard to get my Primarina. So I'm not too surprised I got Oshawott. Oh, no. Oshawott is Samurott, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, I don't have a lot of memory of Samurott. I think it's because I didn't really do a lot of. I didn't play a lot of black and white. But I did, I did get my water type in the end. Alright, now I didn't prepare anything else. I can't believe we finished all the quizzes. They were really short. No Samurott and Oshis? Isn't it? This. Hold on. Yeah, I didn't pick Samurott. I didn't pick Oshawott. I like Cyndaquil better. If I had to rank all the water starters, Oshawott would probably rank pretty low for me, just based on preference. I should have set up a just chatting cam. Hold on. I would want to adjust the setup, but there's no real way for me to do that now. Let me see. I think I can kind of adjust it. You got a shiny Totodile the other day? Where did you get it? How? Pokemon Go? Oh my gosh, I am very envious, but congrats. Alright, let me just adjust this. Can you believe? Hold on. There it is. Isn't this cute? I absolutely love this background. Whee! Alright. Whoop. So I always have the credits for all the backgrounds in the description below, but that was a lot of fun. Honestly, there were like some expected and some unexpected results. Was there any quiz or any result that you guys didn't expect? Personally, I did not expect to get a cat in Metopia. That one shocked me. I honestly thought I would get mage. I don't know how I ended up as cat. Well, I didn't, because I was going to show you guys some of the video footage of me trying to play Pocket TCG, but it's not loading. Shoot. Oh no, it's okay. Next time. So has anyone polled in Pocket TCG? Let me talk about Pocket TCG because... Oh, you weren't able to find Sanrio Quiz? No, I wasn't. I wasn't able to find any, like, official ones. Which class did you pick, Kat? No, I played all of the classes, actually. In Metopia, the thing is because you are working in groups of 4, and you can even recruit other people, so you get to try all the classes if you want. They're a lot of fun. Oh, maybe I'll have to play again someday. I'll have to, like, find a bunch of people to model the characters after, because it's only really fun if you can, like, have a bunch of characters to interact. But it's a lot of work doing, like, character design. I have not played TCG Pocket in a long time. Cat is really overpowered this match. The thing is, well, like, when it comes to the cat, it's really fun, but one of the things is the cat can get distracted. Like, the cat can be like, oh, the cat is too busy grooming itself. So sometimes it's like, you're powerful and I wish they didn't debuff you in this way. But that's how it is sometimes. But let me talk about Pocket TCG, because they just last night, or this morning, you really are the cat. No, it wasn't me. It was the game. It wasn't me. Anyways, I was gonna say the Pocket TCG update actually occurred this morning, and it was Alola. If anyone likes any of the Alola mons, by the way, Lunala and Sogalio, the cards look really cool. But they are so cool. They have a bunch of shiny cards as well. I have a couple of the shinies, and I did get the Lily Immersive. It was crazy. No, absolutely not. Not a cat. Not a cat. Hold on. Ta-da! Okay. But I did get the Lily Immersive. I didn't want to show it off, but the video is not loading, unfortunately. Okay, that one was pretty good. That one was pretty good. We were actually talking about the cat this time, so... I keep wanting to adjust my chat. And by that I mean... There we go. Ta-da! Oh my gosh. Correct. How you guys doing? Oh, what did you think? This is why I don't do a lot of Zatsus. I should have prepared some talking points. What can I talk to you guys about? Oh, you know what? Let me tell you about the story I recently read. It's super interesting. Have you guys ever read an apocalyptic story set in a historical time period of European nobility, and then combine that with, well, actually, what is the combined? It's a mystery. But then would apocalyptic match with mystery? And by that mean, if it's an apocalypse, wouldn't there already be a mystery connected to it? Because you are wondering, how did the apocalypse come about? But technically for me, there is a mystery because the whole thing is there's a bunch of mysterious deaths and they're trying to solve it. So I guess in this case, the mystery could be related to the apocalypse, but it also could not. I guess it depends on how you see it. In other news, because I was gonna talk more about it, but then I was like, yeah, I should have written this down. Zatsus. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, there was a lot. There was a lot I wanted to talk about, and it's just like, of course, when you're actually sitting in front of the microphone and you have a chance to talk, you don't really know what to start with. And then I try to start with it, and I'm like, eh. And not eh, as in I don't want to talk about it. It's eh, what can I talk about with this? Could always start with the weather. I think so. I also think it's just because today is just, there's been a lot going on this week. A lot going on both IRL and also like in the online spaces. Let's start with the weather. The weather's kind of been crazy. The weather has like given me headaches because it keeps changing. But you know what? Today a carpenter ant did give me a scare. If you've never seen a carpenter ant, be glad. They are ginormous. They are ants. They will bite and they can fly. I thought it was like a miniature, I guess like a miniature wasp at first. And I was like trying to find a way to smush it. And then I realized it was a carpenter ant. So I just managed to get one of my family members to catch it. Giant problem. You're right. It was. It honestly felt like it. I was terrified because I did not know carpenter ants could get that big. Also, when I found out that they can bite, I'm like, dang it. And then, you know what I did? I went and vacuumed pretty much the whole house because I was like, what if there's another one? That's the thing. When you see one bug, you're like, what if there's another one? If it is a bug that I feel like I can catch, I try to catch them. But if it is a gigantic bug, I might squish them. On accident. While trying to catch them. Yeah. Sometimes I do the same where like you try to nudge a bug with your shoe and then you squish it. Sag. I feel bad, but sometimes like you don't mean for it to happen and it does. Yeah, that's the thing. I've heard of that, but I also heard like you do need to have the right gear to deal with it and you have to spread it, I think, all around the house. Oh my gosh, did I? Okay, once when I was cleaning the shower, had the water turned on, was rinsing it, and a spider descended from the ceiling. You know the song, the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout? Yeah, this one came down from the shower ceiling as I was cleaning it, and in my, panic, I sprayed it because I was holding the shower head, holding like this. Holding the handheld shower in my hand, sprayed it. It was ginormous. I could not imagine what would have happened if it was like when I was taking a shower. I probably would have broken a door running out. But because I was just cleaning it. Yeah, exactly. See, I was very honest and truthful in all of my quizzes. I forgot I was gonna do a very silly thing where I was like, I promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. And I was gonna do that before I did the quizzes. Totally forgot because so many unexpected things happened. But as you can see, I was honest in all my answers, so every quiz I took today is nothing but the truth. Honestly, I'm also trying to close the window where I was like screen recording and it won't let me. Hold on. Let me turn it off. Yes, okay. There he goes. Now I can exit it. Oh, thank goodness. Where'd it go? Okay, there we go. There was something else I wanted to open. Because I was trying to see if I can get the video to work. Show you guys my polls. But honestly, I can't believe it's only been half a year since TCG. You never get the end of the shower story. Oh, I just washed it down the drain. It was ginormous, but I washed it down the drain. Okay, but at this point, you guys should be used to it. I thought I did end the story though, did I not? Technically, I just washed it down the drain. And hopefully the itsy bitsy spider that was not so itsy bitsy will not try again. I also have not seen it since then, but you know what? I did once have a lamp in my room, and it was one of those lamps where it like hangs, right? So it's like you can angle it so that you can direct the light to as you need it. And I had my water underneath this lamp, and when I woke up, I kept finding spiders in my water. Somehow, that lamp is like a spider magnet. I know, it was gross. So what I ended up doing is number one, I moved my water, and number two, I moved the lamp. No, it made me so overly cautious that I stopped taking sips of water when I woke up. Like, you know how sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night? Yeah, I stopped drinking water when I couldn't see what was in my water potentially, because I kept getting too nervous. Not nervous. I was too wary of potentially drinking it. The light attracts the bugs. No, I did not turn on the light. The lamp was just there. But the spider eats the bugs. You know, if they ate more of the bugs, I'd be okay, but they will not eat the beetles. I think there are like birds and bugs, spiders where I live, and they all avoid the beetles, which is the number one problem I have. Lady beetles and the other beetle. I don't remember its name right now. Because the thing is, I think beetles, like, I don't really care if the bugs are outside, but when the bugs try to enter the home, when they are so persistent that I want to send a message to their fellow bugs, like, don't enter here. Do not cross this line, and they don't listen. No, if it was that, I feel like I would freak out, because I think that's one of the big ones, isn't it? The ones that looks like Heracross. Let me look this up. Yeah, nah. If I saw this, it would throw my water bottle at it. It wouldn't even be like try to catch it, it would just be throw my water bottle at it. But this isn't the one I was thinking of with like the Heracross one. I think the Heracross, the Pokemon, is based on a Japanese beetle, and it's one of the ones that like kids like to catch. They sound really cool too. Is it like sound cool like the bald eagle's fake voice sound cool? Because fun fact, the bald eagle does not sound cool, so they pretended that a different bird, I think it's a hawk, they used that sound and gaslit people into thinking that that was what the bald eagle sounded like. Sound like a helicopter? That is super distinctive. That would also be very deceiving because you would think it's a helicopter and then all of a sudden you see a giant beetle coming your way and it's worse than a helicopter. Also found out helicopters are really crazy because if you hit one thing wrong on accident, the whole thing goes down. Helicopters are dangerous. I would never get in a helicopter. Just don't hit anything. There's something called human error that tends to occur in these situations because you can say that you won't do something or you will be very careful, but you inevitably will somehow, some way. Imagine making a mistake. Appreciate your confidence, but no, I was gonna say something and I was like, no, I don't think I can pull it off. Except the first few times and then at random times. See, yeah, you know what? Good for you. You could try. No, I don't feel like I could pull it off right now. Mainly because I had the joke and then I lost it. So I'd first have to find the joke again. But honestly, I thought a lot about if I wanted to stream today, and I still wanted to. I still wanted to stream and wanted to play with the quizzes. And I'm glad I did in the end. It was a lot of fun. Learned a lot about myself. Somehow found out you guys knew what Harry Potter house I was. Somehow. I have never in my life identified as a Hufflepuff. Yeah, only because it was abrupt. I feel like with normal VTuber graduations, you kind of get time and you process, and then you're like, yeah, they're going on a new step of their journey. But this time it was very much all of a sudden. So it definitely was a lot. Yeah, I'll miss his streams a lot, especially because he took all his streams down. But I really appreciate all the moments where I did get to catch his streams and I did get to listen to his music. Ike Evelyn was very special, and I just hope that he's going to do well. Oh my goodness, it's just sad days. Sad days. But it's okay. And it could have been a rough couple of weeks for V2. It has. April has not been fun. Not at all. But you know what? We can look forward to May. Hopefully. Anyways, so Friday, what I have planned is there is a game that is coming out, and it is called Incombini. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have opened that. Okay, hold on. No, wait, the CPU usage is gonna go up. I accidentally clicked something. No, don't open, don't open, don't open. Alright, so for anyone new, my computer's finicky. If I open too many things, it throws a tantrum and gets upset with me. And I don't want that. We want a smooth streaming experience. But yeah, for Friday, what I have planned is a game called Inconbini, and it is a game where you run a convenience store in old day Japan. I don't remember what the era is. I think it is like 90s, early 2000s. It's very, very cool. It does have a demo that will be coming out between May 1st to May 8th. It is a limited time demo because the developer kind of likes the idea of I think they said, hold on, I don't want to quote them wrong. Konbini. Wee. Oh, it's a 90s. Okay, the era is 90s. I literally cannot find the tweet where they were talking about why they want to make it, excuse me, a limited time run. But the demo I think is already live. It is so, so, so cute. The vibes are cozy. They are doing stocking, so it's kind of like TCG card shop and also supermarket simulator. So if those are the kind of games you like, you might be interested in this game. For me, it's a game I've been keeping an eye on for a very long time because it looks so cute, but you also get to interact with a lot of the customers. So it's kind of like a combination of a couple of things. But yeah, what kind of games do I typically play? I like to play cozy games. And my definition of cozy is like games where I can casually play and still chat. You don't think you'll be able to manage dealing customers? It's okay. I think these customers will not be too bad. I think because it is fictional customers, they will be much easier to handle than real customers. And if you ever feel like you don't want to, in the game, there are no consequences. I was gonna say, in the game, there are no consequences. Maybe you'll like CRPGs. What is a CRPG? Because I haven't played a lot of RPGs personally. Oh, one game I want to talk about, Fantasy Life. Anyways, let me mention this first. The games I like to play, I say I can play it casually while talking, but I also tend to like puzzle games. I tend to like Pokemon. I tend to like story games, but not too plot intensive and not with too many things to keep track of because then I get overwhelmed. Computer role-playing games like Baldur's Gate 3. Here, a lot of people have recommended Baldur's Gate 3 to me, but I personally don't think I'll ever be able to stream it simply because my computer probably won't be able to process it. Tabletop rules adapted to the computer. I see. It depends. I played For the King before, and I think that's kind of an RPG. And I was like okay with that. It's more fun to play with people you know, but if it's simplified like that, I could play. Incoming PC upgrade might be able to. Yes, that's true. However, I'm definitely going to have to. I have other games I want to prioritize first. I made a whole list of games. Let me tell you, once I get that upgrade that is coming very soon, let me tell you the list that I wrote down that I'm definitely going to play first. Hold on, where is it? First game I'm going to play, Dwarf Fortress. They're less intensive ones, maybe like Pillars of Eternity. I definitely would be interested because older Baldur's Gate games, you know what? That's true. It's just like if it's too stat heavy, it feels like a lot for me to remember. I can't play Dwarf Fortress. Is that a can't as in like I wouldn't enjoy it, or can't as in like I would return the game like Zelda? Because one of the things I do like with Steam is that you can return games. I learned that recently. Probably can't run it. That's also true. My computer, when I turn on VTube Studio, I have to turn it on in specific order in order for it to run, and then now, that used to work. Now it does not work. It does not like VTube Studio, unfortunately, which is why I am usually a PNG, but also because now that I have my own character, it's harder for me to find a good customizable model that can like replicate my PNG, only because there are some really, really cute ones, customizable models I want to use, but again, trying to recreate my design is a little difficult, only because of the clothes. You probably would not be satisfied with streaming Dwarf Fortress. It's a lot. Something that is too detailed and intensive would definitely overwhelm me as I'm streaming. Yeah, I prefer to keep things casual and light so that I can talk. But let me tell you about my game list when I upgrade my PC. Dungeons of Hinterberg, Fields of Mystria, TCG Card Shop Simulator, Yeah, those games. You know those games? You want to play those games? There's also a bunch of demos I want to play. Particularly, Bust the Fellows 2 has a demo already out. Oh my gosh. I'm super excited for that. Bust the Fellows, by the way, is an Ultimate game that I have played. I really enjoyed it. I played it blind and I got Mozu. City builders, like Against the Storm, can be super casual, mostly run themselves, so you can talk and they are very cozy. I've honestly never played a city builder, but if it was one with cute graphics, I would consider it. It would have to be something, I guess, like Minami Lane. I like that kind of style. So maybe I would look into it if there is a game like that. Only because I'm pretty particular of art style. There is a reason why I haven't played Terraria is because every time I look at it, it just makes me want to play Stardew. Like, I get it, but I don't know. Every time I look at Terraria, it makes me think of Stardew. No Fantasy Life on the list? 1. Oh, the thing is with Fantasy Life 1, is that available or is that not a DS game? Stardew brain rot is real. Stardew is life! Chickens are life. Well, the thing, okay, one thing I want to bring up with Fantasy Life is I found out Fantasy Life is stats. It requires you to allocate your statistics, and I'm like, oh no. And also, I found out that the deluxe version where you pre-order it, you can play the game 2 weeks early, but for me, the game cost $100. Fantasy Life on 3DS, Fantasy Life, I will be out on Switch. Yeah, Fantasy Life, the girl who turns back time, right? At weeks, I thought it was days. No, you get it 2 weeks early. Because it's, oh no, wait, is it? Hold on, did I get it wrong? Let me look it up. Fantasy Life. Early access. Oh, it's 3 days in advance. It comes out in 2 weeks. My bad. I was so confused. I was like, wow, that's a really long time for them to like give you early access. My bad. It comes out in 2 weeks. Comes out May 21st, technically. And you get to play the game 3 days early. But also $100. I've also gotten into Pokemon. Nope. I definitely, personally for me, I choose not to emulate or anything like that. Anything I play is I own it, or I'm using, for example, a capture card in my Wii system in order to avoid any other copyright. Because if I'm gonna get copyright for music, that's my choice. If I want to, I could probably remove those VODs now, but it's not like imperative for me at this moment. But I would like to avoid getting into other trouble potential. But I will say that I did see Jaden Animation's video on Alpha Rad's new version of Pokemon with all the new types, and it honestly sounds like, maybe it's because I'm so used to Pokemon, but it sounds like a nightmare to figure out. It looks interesting, but definitely a nightmare to figure out. I highly recommend that video if you want to see Pokemon in a different approach, in a very like pop culture approach. It's very interesting. But yeah, is anyone going to get Fantasy Life in the early access? I'm just very curious. Like, I feel like the deluxe version is worth it because you can get a dragon mount. You probably will. Yeah. I'm thinking about it. Not your kind of game, that's fair too. I really like the graphics and the idea behind it, because to me it kind of is like Stardew RPG. I did not know about the stats, but I do like, for example, that the one character you play is going to be like a little bit of everything. So the thing is, you do pick a class, but I did see a video where they mention, let's say for example, I choose to be a tailor and I want to make clothes. what you would have to do is you still have to get materials, so you still have to do other jobs in order to collect materials. Digimon Time Stranger for sure though, right? 100%. 100% will play Digimon Time Stranger when it comes out. Because I think with my PC upgrade, I'll be able to play it on Steam and I won't have to get it on the Switch. Because I think part of the reason why Time Stranger wasn't announcing for Switch is they might have the game out on Switch too. But I didn't get a Switch. Disappearing for 2 weeks. You know, fair. Fair. I'm super excited for it. I do think that when it comes out, it doesn't say the date, but I'm hoping it will come out on a day when I stream. Then I can play it, play it live, but otherwise I will wait. I do think I'm super excited for Time Stranger. What else am I excited for upcoming games? There's another game I'm still waiting for more information on, Firefly Clove. It looks so cute. It's pixel art, it's RPG. Oh, also, Fields of Mystery. I will definitely play that when I get my PC upgrade. I cannot believe that my computer cannot run Fields of Mystery. It's so crazy. It's just, for some reason, when I tried to stream Fields of Mystery, everything was so slow. And when I tried to record Fields of Mystery, everything was so slow. So it's interesting that I've had to put off Fields of Mystery until I get a PC upgrade. Oh my gosh. Unexpected. Like, I had to do... Have you been looking at PC parts or still not yet? So I have looked. I think I do know what I want. And I probably am going to wait a bit until... I think a little bit closer to summer. Probably because there'll be sales then. But I'm definitely not spending any money for like the next couple of months. Just to make sure that if anything I want does go on sale, I'll be able to get it. So we'll see. Hopefully sooner rather than later. True. There are holidays coming up. I, for some reason, could hear the eagle cry in my head with the emoji. The association, the propaganda, the gaslighting was very real. But also the Steam summer sale. I'm excited that now that I'm going to upgrade my setup, I'll finally be able to fully take advantage of the Steam summer sale. Before, I was always focused on like the Switch side of things because I am usually a console gamer, which is why I couldn't play some of my favorite games, but now can fully take advantage of the lower prices a lot of games tend to have on Steam. Although I will say I'm pretty bummed that I did miss out on one Ultimate game. There's an Ultimate game I wanted for the Switch, and it's called My Next Life as a Villainess, Avoiding the Doom Route, and it was very silly, very fun. But I did miss it because it didn't go on sale. The price went up, and then people sold it out. Can you believe it? I've never seen it where the price has like been more than it was normally costing, and then it was just sold out. I wonder if people found out that they weren't doing a second reprint, and then that's why they bought it even though it was like $20 more. The thing is, it's been around for a while. I think it was like a year out, and I think they're not doing a second run of like the print of the physical copies of the game. But yeah. Crazy. I did want to play it. And I think I can get it still as a digital copy, but yeah. People are buying physical copies, yes. I've been personally trying to buy physical DVD of Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun so I can have the first season of the anime on like a physical disc. However, I have not been successful. More competition. It's alright. I think with the way things currently are, people are being more conscious and being more selective. I think they are prioritizing something like a physical game that you can actually play when you want to. However, people are being more selective with what games they are buying. So it's an interesting time. And of course, when the Pokemon full-size plushes come out, people are still selling those out because I think someone made a joke is like the life-size Pokemon plush or the Nintendo Switch 2. I also saw someone mention that the reason they're not getting a Switch 2 is because what if Nintendo Switch 2 comes out of a cute collaboration special edition like they did with Animal Crossing? And I cannot tell you how much my heart hurt when Animal Crossing came out and they had the green and blue controllers. My heart broke because I wanted it so bad, but I knew my personality is I keep my devices. So, for example, I have my original Switch I bought during when it first came out, used it, and I had no reason to buy another Switch. But I really wanted those controllers. Really wanted the green and blue controllers. So, since I am skipping on the Switch 2 this time, if it does in the future come out with something so insanely cute, I will finally be able to get it. I don't know. I do say that I am passing this time only because, like, I don't have enough of a reason to get it. I usually get a Nintendo console to play Pokemon, but because Pokemon ZA will come out for the original Switch, I'm still okay on that front. Technically. Technically. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the future turns. But I did see all the frenzy when people were pre ordering. It was crazy. Next gen will be entirely switched to, yeah, but that will be like a future Rhea problem to deal with. If in the future I decide that I really want to play the next Pokemon, maybe they'll have a special edition Switch. Maybe it'll be super cute. And then I will not have to deal with all the pre-ordering that people is currently dealing with. Those pre-order emails are going crazy. Like, there were so many reactions. And by reactions, I mean people posting, like, they didn't get the pre-order. They did. They got a receipt. They got rejected. All things like that. It was pretty funny to watch from the sidelines. I'm sorry. I shouldn't revel in people's pain. But as someone who was finally, like, because I opted out of it, I could just, like, observe from the sidelines, you know? Sometimes that happens. Speaking of sidelines, though, I did put aside the videos I was working on only momentarily because there was like I was supposed to work on them and things happened. However, I think I'm okay now. Starting probably after the stream, I'll like get back to working on the videos. I had to change one of the videos I wanted to do. I originally wanted to do two hand cams and one commentary video. I think I have to change it to two commentary videos and one hand cam because what I didn't know is with my new OBS update, it no longer recognizes my phone, which I had been using to film hand cams. So I have to get a webcam if I want to do future hand cams. I can't believe one OBS update is costing me so much money. Can't you film on foam and transfer data? Here's the thing, I could do that and I will experiment with it. But when I say hand cams, I mean like if I wanted to live stream a hand cam. So usually there are times where I have thought about doing a live stream hand cam, but now that is no longer an option. I can still make videos. However, it will take me some time because originally the reason I liked doing I had a setup where I could use my current microphone that I'm using right now to film videos and then I had all the filters, the audio was great, I didn't really have to mess with it, and now I have to find another way to film. I might have to record voiceovers, but voiceovers are fun, but like part of the fun of the hand cam is the reaction in the moment, you know? I don't know, we'll think about it. I know, it's been so long since I've done a hand cam. Mainly because, like, the lighting is not great when I try to do hand cams. One of the things that I know is like my weakness is lighting. I've watched so many videos trying to figure out a nice lighting setup, and it doesn't look that great because you use what you have. It looks decent, it's fine, but I feel like I could do better. Feel like I could do better. And that's what holds me back. But one of the other things I wanted to potentially do, and I'm gonna like run this by you guys, see what you think. What if we did like one of those study with me chatting Zatsus? And the thing is, I would be coloring, and then I would periodically take pictures of what I'm coloring and then put it up on screen. So you wouldn't get a live stream of me coloring, but you would see my progress and we could treat it like a study together, work together kind of stream. Buy a cheap shop light from a hardware store and just plug it in. I have lights. I have 2 ring lights that I have. And for some reason, when I try to use them for lighting, it does not look good. It does not look good, does not look right. And I think it's just the lighting in my room. I'm gonna have to like, I don't know. I wonder if I can return these. Dang, I didn't think of that. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll return the ring lights I have and then get invested in a better one. No judging my coloring technique. No. I use alcohol markers. There is nothing to judge. But I will say that the reason I haven't posted coloring or anything is because I'm a flat color kind of person. Flat color meaning solid flat color. Nowadays, people are very, very extra. It is beautiful, stunning. I admire their ability to do things like plaid, like shadows, like adding depth to their coloring. And I'm just here like flat coloring. I don't know. I was playing with the idea because I was trying to think of other streams I could do while I'm still waiting to update. There are games I could play. I do have some games in the library we could go through. It's just like trying to find more things to do, you know? Also, technically, I could play Stardew, but I don't want to learn how to fish on a keyboard. That sounds like a nightmare. But we shall see. We shall see. Alright, I think that's it for today. It is. Sounds like a dream. Wait, what sounds like a dream? Sounds playing a bunch of games or. Oh my gosh, I was just about to end stream. Fishing? Oh my gosh. Fishing with a keyboard is not a dream. But you know what? Maybe tonight you'll dream of fishing. Feel like I could have transitioned that better. But I do think that'll be it for today. Thank you guys for joining me in the personality quiz extravaganza where I did a bunch of personality quiz. Also appreciate you guys being here chatting with me. I'm gonna have to do talking points more often. Something I used to do is I used to write down like things I wanted to talk about and mention, and because it's been a while since I've done like Zatsu, I stopped doing that, but maybe it'll be good to do it again for the future, just in case we do more Zatsus, because maybe I'll do more. Maybe if I have topics to talk about or like I have a story I really want to like a main manhwa I really want to talk about, we can do more Zatsus. It will depend how I feel when I rewatch this VOD and whether or not I I cringe. That's true. You're right. You know what? Maybe that should be the thing. Starting every Zatsu by talking about the weather. I think it's because I'm used to that as small talk. Like that is the one thing that I think a lot of people probably have experienced. But thank you for the suggestion. It did work to kickstart my talking brain, my yaps. Well, anyways, thank you so much for joining me, whether you chatted, lurked, or watching the VOD, including future Ria. I hope you're not cringing too much. Or maybe you're I was gonna say maybe you're cringing because I'm referring to you. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. My next stream will be Friday. We'll be trying Incombini, which is a 90s Japanese convenience store. I'm super excited to try the demo. But as always, remember to take care of yourselves, drink water, stretch. I hope that you guys all rest well. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope I see you guys in the next stream. Until next time.